Hello, welcome to JIBRIN Angle on Oweleke TV. My name is JIBRIN, and this is my angle. And let's welcome Barrister Austin Manta, a regular guest on this show. Barrister Austin Manta, a very senior legal practitioner of over 40 years in practice, active practice. In fact, that is all he does. So when you say specialty, this guy is specialized on just dissecting the law. They say jack of all trade, master of none. He is jack of one trade, so he is the master of the law. As far as I'm concerned, I have experienced him for almost 2 decades now, so I know what I'm talking about. Barrister, thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, at this moment, we're not talking about anything that has to do with your profession, but something you know how to do very well, which is public analysis. You're a very good public analyst. There is this issue of a kind of, I'll call it tsunami of foreign companies leaving Nigeria. The latest one is the Netflix. Netflix is leaving Nigeria. Okay, last week we had what's this name? A cement producing company, just like Dangote cement. Holcim, right? Holcim. Holcim. They already left. They lamented stagnant. They lamented their reason was stagnancy in the economy under Tinubu, specifically under Tinubu. So they left. Microsoft have left. Now Netflix is leaving. For God's sake, I don't understand. Obviously, when a company is leaving, it means they are not making it. They are not making profit. So what do you expect? If you out of Netflix, what do you expect? Now somebody wake up telephone and go subscribe to the watch movie now. So because the Nigerian situation, it's about those big shots. People who subscribe to Netflix are the poor people. Poor people are the ones who subscribe because people who are doing well, busy people, businessmen and women, or traders who are up there busy in their lives doing one thing or the other, they don't have time for Netflix. I am subscribed to Netflix, but honestly, I can't remember when I watched Netflix last. I'm subscribed. I'm an active subscriber of Netflix, but honestly, sometimes I don't feel I'm just wasting money. They just charge me because I've not been using it because I'm engaged in several stuff that takes my time away. So I don't have that. I've not had the time to actually sit down and begin to watch Netflix. So, and the same thing applies to, so people who are doing that are people who are on the further middle down level, and students and petty traders or whatever who will subscribe. I don't know how much Netflix. I think it's about 5,000 naira. I've been at 10,000 naira or so. So what do you expect? The poverty rate is skyrocketing. So people are not subscribing anymore. People have unsubscribed. They need to use their money for food, for basic necessities. Barrister, what is your thought on this issue of mass exodus of international companies, foreign companies leaving Nigeria under Tinubu's government?
Well, the trend started actually before Tinubu's government, started under Buhari, but it is to be expected. It's common sense. If you are doing business, you expect to have profits to continue to run the business. Companies that are doing reasonable profit cannot run away from their business, cannot close their shops and go. It is companies that are finding it difficult to operate within the environment that eventually make the hard decision to close shop and go. In Nigeria, the business environment is so bad, and the prospects of improving, they look at the forecast and see no prospects that the business environment is going to improve. Now, if you are in business for a long time and things have become hard, you look at government policies and say, okay, maybe in a 6 months, in a year's time, the operating environment is going to improve. So let me just manage up to that time. But they look at the public policies of government and they forecast and they look into the future and they don't see any prospect of improvement in the operating environment. So they come to the hard decision to close shop because you cannot continue operating at a loss or having minimal profits that does not make any good reason for you to continue in business. And the second factor in Nigeria is as bad as the operating environment is, even the little profits you get, repatriating it in foreign currency is a big deal. It's a big
Big
problem.
deal. Yeah.
If you recall the issue of Emirates Airlines,
Emirates.
who
Yeah.
stopped flying to Nigeria because they could not repatriate money out of the country. Until I think a couple of years, they came to an agreement and the government found a way to allow them to repatriate. So that is the environment in which foreign companies, even Nigerian companies, they are not able to go because why would they go? If you are in Nigeria, you are doing your business and you meet this kind of thing, you cannot run away because you don't have any other place. These international companies are operating in several countries, Africa, Middle East, Asia, and elsewhere. So they can just close shop in one environment that is too poor and then relocate resources to or their energy to where the environment is better or prospect of improving environment is there. This is what is happening in Nigeria. And I have said on this platform that this man prepared for 23 years to take power, but he did not use even one month to prepare for what he will do with the power. So we are seeing the consequences of somebody who came to the presidency unprepared. He prepared to snatch and take the power, but he did not prepare to execute policies that will benefit the country. So it is try and error and running from pillar to post and responding to situations as they come up. So this is our
Now,
predicament.
now that brings me to this question. I think we've talked about this earlier. Do you think sincerely, that Tinubu actually does not know what to do for Nigeria to grow? Do you think that he has lost he's clueless? Is that what you think?
I wouldn't say he is totally clueless, but even when you know, governance is a big deal. Governance of a large country like Nigeria is a big deal. Even when you have ideas of what to do, that will not be sufficient. The hard work that will come into you put down your policies in writing, overturn them, look at them again and again and again. Try to put team together that will practicalize this, critique it and improve it. That is the hard work that I'm talking about. So you may have some ideas, but that alone will not be sufficient.
Now, the purpose of this question is this: don't you think I'm going to be making this comment in form of question again? Don't you think that Tinubu knows exactly what to do to govern well? He knows what to do the right for Nigeria to be better than what it is today. But that, don't you think the purpose why he's not ready to do it is because it will infringe on his interests? That are multifaceted. Tinubu is involved in virtually everything, just like what is happening in Lagos. He's involved in the oil and gas. He's involved in the insurance. He's involved in the bank. He's just all over the place. So don't you think that even though he knows exactly what to do, but because if he does the right thing, it will impede or it will circumvent his own personal interest that has to do with the multiple businesses that he has all over the country.
Well, again, I will answer and say that you may know what to do, but two, you may not have the capacity to do it. And three,
And
you
the
may not have,
capacity now, before you
you may not have the will to do it. And this lack of capacity and lack of will can be because of so many militating factors. You yourself is so engrossed in the issues that you cannot set yourself apart from the issues and do the right thing. You yourself will be part of the people benefiting from the present corrupt and decrepit system. And it's difficult for you to extract yourself from there and stand and then do the right thing. This will
That's my point.
constitute this will constitute lack of capacity and lack of will. There are other reasons as well that will make you, even if you know the right thing to do, you will not have the capacity to do. And let me quote. If you have been reading Shakespeare, there is a book called Macbeth, when they killed the king. And some of them who killed the king, they sat and started reflecting. Some of them realized that they did wrong, but they said they have gone so far. They liken it to crossing a river. They have gone so far that coming back is as tedious and difficult as going forward. So they now show that if you want to retrace your step, it's as difficult, if not more difficult, than going forward in your line that you are going. So you can see, you may know that, look, this is what we do, but you will not have the capacity and the will to do, because you are so entrenched, so drenched in the pit that you will not be able to pull yourself out and do the right thing.
That is my point. Now, back to, honestly, even though I agree with you in totality, as with regard to drenching, him being drenched, because it's bogged down by his foundation. Yeah, that's it. I think that is. But honestly, I do not agree that Tinubu, that we have known all these years, do not have the capacity or the will to do the right thing. I think he has both, because if we are talking about will and talking about capacity, not in the not in such words, it does not have anything to do with Tinubu. Tinubu has both. He has the will, he has the capacity, he has everything, all that it takes. Because the man is a power drunk person. He's always any man or any woman, any leader that is in charge and in control, is in control and seen to be in control of his or her domain. Such leader has the capacity and the ability and the will to do what he or she wants to do or needs to do. So capacity, the lack of capacity and will, is as a result of, it comes from weakness. It is when you have a weak leader, that is where you have, when strength and courage is missing in leadership, you also find lack of will and capacity missing. But when you have someone with leadership pros, with like strong courage to make decisions, someone who you that is seen and feels to be in charge, not doing anything, it is not because he does not want, he lacks the capacity or will, but it's because if he does it, he or she will eventually, it will be detrimental to he or she. There is a reason why they refuse to, not because they don't want, they cannot, not because they cannot do it, but it boils down that they don't want to do it. And that is the case of Tinubu. I don't believe that man has all it takes. He has all it takes, but his foundation, and my problem is, he has two problems. You talked about his foundation being probably being part of what is responsible to not actually allowing him to move forward. That's what we call stalemate. Okay, you've moved to a certain point. You look back. If I have to go back, it will take me the same pain to that it will take me to move forward. So therefore, what will that situation be called? It's a stalemate. So he's on a stalemate of because if I were him, I wouldn't consider that a stalemate. I would rather choose to move forward, go with the pain to move forward, and I kind of engrave my legacy in the history of Nigeria rather than just being on a stalemate, doing nothing, continue to plunge the country into chaos. Because honestly, like someone like me, I believe in repentance, I believe in atonement, I believe in change. So he can decide to say enough of this rapacious lifestyle, enough of this greed. Let me use these 4 years or 4 or 8 years or 7 years, as the case may be, to at least be a different President Tinubu and begin to do the right thing and begin to step on toes, including those who were instrumental to bulldozing you into power. I don't know. I don't know if you agree with me, Barrister.
We are not saying different things. We are not talking across purposes. We are saying virtually the same thing, even though in different words. Remember, I attributed the lack of capacity and lack of will to the drenching that a person has. Remember, one of the greatest leaders Nigeria has produced, General Murtala Mohammed, when he came to power, he publicly surrendered all his ill-gotten properties. He
Well,
told the
yeah.
country, I have acquired this and that illegally. I surrender it to the federal government. And he started on a clean slate. And Nigerians were happy for that. They knew if you took that step, it was from a genuine concern
Unfortunately, that's why
and
they killed him. Because Nigerians don't like
desire,
people like that.
a genuine desire to chart a new course. Now, when you mention President Tinubu, and we talk about him charting a new course, you first have to surrender what you got wrongly, which is a big, 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 big. We
No,
don't even
no,
know.
Barrister,
We don't know
hold
the
on.
extent.
Yeah, sorry. No, honestly, let's be fair. Let's be fair. Now, someone like me, I believe in restitution. There's no doubt about that. But I believe in conviction to do that restitution. Restitution is individualistic. That is where I see it. There are people when they repent, they feel they lose peace until they restitute, return everything. But there are people who, when they genuinely repented, but they still want to keep what's there or whatever. So I don't mind someone like me, my opinion. I don't mind even if he repents and refuse to restitute, but at least moving forward, begin to do the right thing, living a better life. Go ahead,
That
please.
will
Sorry to cut
leave
you off.
that will leave a lot of issues, because you are not one person. You are dealing with a country of hundreds of millions, and the government and leadership cannot survive or succeed without the people lining behind it. You need majority of the people to buy into your policy, to buy into your ideas, and to buy into your programs and support the government. Where you are just the government and the rest of the country do not have faith in you, do not trust you, do not support your programs, it's going to be difficult for you to succeed. And in order to have the faith, the support of Nigerians, you cannot retain ill-gotten wealth. You cannot retain unmerited privileges. You cannot retain what you are not entitled to for yourself and your family and turn around to tell other people that don't do this, because they too have children, they too have family to take care of. Nobody will believe in you. Nobody will have faith in you when you do that. You only convince me that you are genuinely charting a new course when you divest yourself and extract yourself from your past. You cannot keep your past and chart a new. I'm not keeping the past as if wiping it away. You have to divest yourself from the past before you can chart a new course. The past will be there. People will understand you did this. A thief that stole somebody's item and say he has repented and is keeping the item. How will you convince me that you have genuinely repented? You can't convince me. Take the item back to the person you stole. Even that person you stole from will be assured, will be convinced that yes, you have truly repented. So that is what I'm talking about. And I have made the
All right.
point that the leadership that Nigeria needs will be leadership that will stay so far up on a higher pedestal than the rest of the Nigerian people. Not only the person, his family, his friends, and his associates must stay on a high moral pedestal before they can govern Nigeria well. Once Nigerians see some little dark speck in you, they are going to exploit it. They are going to exploit it and they will write you off as a serious leader.
Anyway, yeah, I think I agree with you on that 100%. You're right. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.